What do you do when you reach a milestone? Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe wherever you're watching or listening so you don't miss any future episodes. Are you ready? Let's get started. I reached a milestone last week. My latest book, Flexible Leadership, Navigate Uncertainty and Lead with Confidence, was released. After planning and writing and editing and promoting, the book is in the world. And that's a milestone for sure. You don't have to have written a book to know that's a milestone. So the question is, now what? Because this episode isn't about me. I'm just using that as an example to get us all to this idea that milestones are markers. Well, what are they markers for? Well, they're markers for acknowledgement. Sometimes as leaders, we get to a milestone with our team and we just keep on going because we're thinking further ahead. The milestone is a moment to let everyone know, hey, let's note what we've accomplished. Let's note where we are. We need to use milestones as a marker for acknowledging effort and progress. But milestones are also markers for celebration. There are many times we need to celebrate. And maybe we don't need to bring out a cake because maybe our team is virtual and that cake might not be available to everybody. But my point is finding ways to not just acknowledge, but to celebrate what we've achieved, how far we've come is a very useful thing. And too often we forget this or underestimate its importance. People have put in a tremendous amount of work to get to any point that you're at. And so celebrating is important. Milestones are markers for reflection. When we get to a certain point in our life in any sort of project or situation, it's a good time. Really, it's always a good time to reflect. But when we hit a milestone, like I have with this book, there's a lot of things I can look back on and think about what worked, what didn't, what would I do differently next time. Milestones are a great marker for reflection. Milestones are also a reflection. Yes. When we go, after I finish with reflection, Parker will come back in. Milestones are also a marker for learning. Well, obviously, if we are reflecting, hopefully that gives us the chance to learn. But anytime that you celebrate and reflect, there's learning opportunities. Just make sure in the moments of milestones, we're thinking about what have we learned that will help us as we go even further forward. Milestones are also markers for perspective. It's like if you're walking up a mountain or up a hill and then you look around, you have a new perspective. And a milestone is sort of like that. You've reached a point in a journey where you can look around and see where you are. And the celebration, reflection, and learning can give us a new perspective on our project, on our work, on our process, on our progress, on ourselves. And lastly, milestones are markers for rededication. Typically in a project, when we think of a milestone, we don't think about being done. We just think about we've reached an important point and we're still going. And so milestones can be a great place, especially if we do acknowledge and celebrate, to say, okay, now we can rededicate ourselves as we continue to move forward. If we miss the milestone, we sort of lose track of where we are. We need to do that and say, hey, here's where we are. Look how far we've come. Let's rededicate ourselves moving forward. As it relates to this book, just writing it having it released isn't enough. We want people to buy it. We want people to use the ideas inside of it so they can become more effective leaders. And so this is our chance to rededicate ourselves to the original purpose for writing it. Ultimately, it isn't really about a book. It's about helping people like you be more effective and flexible leaders. So how many of these things are you doing? Acknowledgement, celebration, reflection, learning, perspective, rededication. How many of these things are you doing? And maybe more importantly, how could adding some of those that are missing impact or change for the better your attitude, outlook, and energy? Well, before we go, let me just remind you that yes, this book is now out. And so if you want to learn more about flexible leadership, if you want to see how you can use the ideas in this book to be a more effective leader or help those in your organization be more effective leaders, you can learn more by going to kevineikenberry.com/flexible. Hope you'll do that. You'll get a chance to get a sample chapter and get some bonuses if you buy copies. Let me close with today's remarkable reminder. Milestones are markers of progress that deserve acknowledgement and celebration, but also reflection and rededication to the road ahead.